Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'll be discussing my camera rig for the Fuji X-T3 and why I believe it's the perfect setup for any wedding videographer or creative and filmmaker out there. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Hey guys, just let me know what you guys think about the intro down below. I worked on it this past weekend and I'll love some, feedback. Just let me know what I need to do. If you would change it up a bit, just want to make sure I get the best out there for you guys. When I first got into filmmaking, I knew that I needed the perfect setup. At first, I thought it was a gimbal. So I purchased the gimbal and I used it and I fell in love with it because I used it for over 2.5 years. And then I realized, just like I realized that I don't like Sony and I went to Fuji. Nah, jokes aside, I went ahead and switched over to a camera rig because I knew that with a gimbal, I'll be limited. Again, gimbals are not bad, but they're good for like sports or a lot of movement type of shots. But when you dive more into filmmaking, I personally believe that handheld look or using a tripod or monopod is actually more creative in a sense, because you really have to think about the shot in detail. Whether it's a sliding shot, a revealing shot, you kind of treat it as if you're taking a photo. For example, you may be leaning out or you may pose your couple a little bit better, and you take that time rather than focus on the movement. See, you focus on the couple rather than the movement, and the shot is interesting. It's like taking a photo. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into this camera rig and why this camera rig is the best out there that I've seen so far. Nah, jokes aside, again, this is mainly for my needs and clickbait, so that's why I'm saying it's the ultimate camera rig. But again, everything is customizable to what you guys need. For example, there's maybe some items that you don't need that I need, and vice versa. So again, let's go ahead and dive into the first item that I went ahead and purchased for this camera rig. So the first issue with the Fuji X-T3, as we all know, is the battery life. It's comparable to the A6500. So to address the issue, I went ahead and purchased the Mikey battery grip rather than Fuji's. Save $250, so I bought it for $100. The caveat was that I still needed to buy Fuji's original battery in order to use it in the Mikey. So that kind of defeated the purpose of saving extra more money, because I ended up buying 4 additional batteries at $65 a pop. I still did save money though, regardless. But moving forward, so that went ahead and solved the issue for the power supply towards the camera. Once I decided, okay, this is the body that I'll be using with the Fuji X-T3 main body and with the external battery grip, I knew that I needed to find a cage that adapted to it. Luckily, the ergonomics and everything fit well, and small rig, with a great products, went ahead and supplied that cage. I purchased it, of course. So links are all down below as well to all the items that are needed for this build. And so I went ahead, I purchased that cage. It's for the X-T2, X-T3 lineup, and it fitted perfectly with the X-T3. And so that's the starting point of the base. Now, the next thing that I knew that I needed was the small rig NATO wooden handle grips. These grips are perfect. They're so comfortable, and you can change them in different formats. So I bought 2 of them, one for my left and one for my right. I'm actually left-handed, so I feel more comfortable gripping the camera from my left rather than my right. But I still got both, so I still use them. Regardless, from that point forward, I needed another point of contact. So I went ahead and purchased a rubber grip for the top with a cold shoe mount, and so that I can attach my monitor, which is a small HD focus 5-inch. And from that point forward, I have 3 points of contact. I have the side handles, the top handle, and then I also have my monitor on top with a small rig swivel that I use. It's fantastic. I recommend it to a lot of my friends out there on their builds for their camera setups, and they love that swivel mount because it's so sturdy, and it's actually kind of stylish too. in my opinion. I have these 3 points of contact set up. One for the top grip if I'm gonna get low angle type of shots. 2 for my side grips if I'm gonna run or just wanna have a strong steady point holding the camera. And then 2 side handles just to have more, that solid point of contact, elbows tucked in, and then you know that you're extremely steady. Now, another thing that I wanted to address with Fuji X-T3 was that its micro HDMI is very weak. Its input is very weak. So I went ahead and made sure to buy the small rig HDMI clamp so that that micro HDMI cable wouldn't go into the body or pull out, because this happened for me in the past. And so I went ahead and purchased that, and that solved that issue. However, it did create another issue, and this is why I purchased the external battery grip and also the batteries, was because that clamp blocked the USB-C. If not, I would have bought a power bank instead, and that would have been a lot more cheaper. However, since that clamp and my previous experience with the micro HDMI, going all the way in, I just decided, forget it. I'm just gonna buy the battery grip with the batteries, and that solves my issue with batteries, rather than trying to figure out another way how to put my USB-C in there with a power bank. And then in turn, that also did save me a lot of room for cables, so I don't have much cable management besides the micro HDMI cable that goes into the Fuji X-T3. Now, during this build, I was thinking ahead in the future in case I decided that, I want to have a beefier battery. I'm tired of carrying batteries. I want to go ahead and make sure that I have a V-mount battery in place system, So I went ahead and made sure that I bought the small rig base plate. I also bought the small rig carbon fiber rods. They're 15 millimeters. I didn't want them too big because I knew that, I don't have a V-mount at this point in time, but if I do, I'll still want my setup to be kind of small and compact. With that being said, what the rods also do during this point in time is that it provides protection and more stability too as well. Because again, you have more point of contacts that can either hold the rods from the bottom, the grip, or the top handle. Again, this setup may not be ideal for you guys if you don't like to have many points of contact, but for me, I like to make sure I can grip my camera anywhere, just to have the perfect stability. Especially since this camera does not have in-body stabilization, I have to be able to counter it and make sure I have full control of the camera. Since the beginning of this build, I made sure that I wanted to focus on having multiple points of contact and also protection for the camera. Being a creative out there, you never know what kind of situations you may run yourself into. You may be more of a filmmaker that maybe deals with skateboarding, and you want to have like a heavier setup just to make sure that you have some stability and protection just in case anything happens. For wedding videography, of course, you don't need a hefty setup like this, but for me personally, I like the heavier setup. I look forward to in the future adding the V-mount battery to solve the battery issue completely for both my monitor and for my camera, and I can also add any accessories that I do want as well. Now on the rig, I also do have a portable battery holder from Small Rig. However, I use it more as a holder for my phone when I'm doing a wedding, or if I want to just get my phone out real quick just to get a quick snapshot, it's there. If my wife texts, I like to have my phone there because you never know. My wife sends me a text and say, hey, the baby is this or that or the other. Even though I can't leave, I still want to be informed. Communication is valuable in any relationship. That's just a little pointer out there. No, but seriously guys, again, the setup may not be for everyone. However, for myself, it's great. It's a heavier setup than other people that I've seen. It'll be even heavier once you add the V-mount battery, but again, it'll be a solid piece of work. Now, when you go to your clients and they see what you're using, what you're packing, they're gonna be pretty impressed. They're gonna be like, wow, I now know why I paid so much money for this creative. Again, it's not your gear that defines how good you are, it's your creativity, what's in the inside, right here. Thank you again for watching another video. If you went ahead and liked it, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment down below on your rig or your setup style, or if this is useful, or if you even like the intro, or if it sucks. Please let me know. Feedback is so important to me. Thank you guys. Till the next one. If you stuck this far out, I'm going ahead and show you my setup right now. It's not the best one, to be honest. I can't wait once I start working again and making more money that I can buy more lights, maybe buy a wallpaper. So much. But here it is. I share a room with my son. He does not sleep in here, actually sleeps with us, but all his stuff is in here. I have half of the room for my office and the other half it's what's for him in his storage. You know, everything is on his crib. It's pathetic. Yeah, what can you do? However, once we move into our new place by the end of our lease here in August, I'll have our own room for his for a whole new studio set up just for YouTube and editing and stuff. And then he's gonna have his separate room, and then we'll no longer be roommates. It's sad. See ya. Peace.